Shalom.
Hey, welcome back. Today we're looking at the Electric XP folding electric bike. So, what we're looking at again is another fat tire electric bike. Only this one folds and it's more moped-esque than the last bike we looked at, which was the Discovery by Nocto, which is more of a mountain bike. Matter of fact, the XP doesn't have any shocks or suspension anywhere on the bike other than a little buffer located underneath the seat, which really doesn't aid in much shock absorption really at all. However, I suppose it's better than having nothing. Okay, so let's get into some of the specs. The XP utilizes a 500 watt rear hub brushless motor and uses a 48-volt lithium ion battery. Now, the manufacturer claims that the XP can get up to 45 plus miles on one battery charge. However, we have not been able to reach that extent, but the battery life is good compared to some other options. And like I mentioned earlier, the XP is a fat tire bike, so it does handle softer surfaces better than the traditional bike tire. But since the XP doesn't have any shocks or any suspension on it, it's better suited to sands and pavement than it is to trails with a whole lot of dirt and rocks, just because it's going to bounce you around a whole lot on rougher terrain. Unlike many other electric bike companies, Lectric only sells their products directly to the consumer via their own website. So they don't sell their own product to other distributors. This results in the price of the XP to be pretty consistent, which is $8.99 on Lectric's website. Now, they do have occasional deals, but for the most part, it seems that their bike remains at a constant $900. Now, I have the actual owner of this bike here with me, my father, and we're going to ask him a few questions. So, pretty simple. What is your favorite thing about the XP?
Well, I have a few favorite things. I've ridden a few other electric bikes, and I would say the things that stand out the best for me on my bike is I like how comfortable it is. I think the seat is better than any other seat I've ridden on. That's the first thing. I like the handlebars that they can come up or down, and depending on the terrain, if I need to lower them, when I'm going on a little bit rockier or sandier surfaces to keep a better center of gravity, or if I'm like on a beach trail, I can raise them, keeps my back up straight. So I like that. I like that it folds. There's times when when I know that I want to take it a far distance, and maybe I have a smaller vehicle than my truck, then I can fold it up, and I thought that was super useful. Feels like I can transport it anywhere. I like the 5 speed along with the throttle. So what I mean by that is it doesn't matter if I'm in 1 or 5 pedal assist. So I like the throttle that I could put it on the max no matter what speed I'm in, 1 or 5. I always thought that was super helpful. And then I also like basically the view, what it looks like on the display. It seems very simple compared to other ones I've noticed. It's not as busy. It seems very, very simple, easy to read, especially when I'm going through rough terrain and I'm bouncing all over the place. So I really like that feature.
How fast can you expect to get on the XP?
I've got up as fast as 30 when I'm pedaling and I'm on pedal assist 5. I think the average, right, if I'm not, trying to really go as fast as I can, is probably more like around 20, 23.
And that's pretty good considering that this is only a Class 2 electric bike. So, is there anything about the XP which surprised you?
There's a few things. There was a couple of days ago when it rained really hard, and we took the bike out, and there was a ton of mud. It was super slippery. I was actually surprised on how well I got through the mud. how well I got through a lot of really difficult terrain and water. That was kind of cool. I don't know if it's because the tires are extra thick or what's going on there, but I thought it got through very well.
With that being said, because the XP has no suspension, how do you think it handles on rougher terrain?
Yeah, it's probably not as great as I would hope for in the rougher terrain. I mean, I originally bought the bike more for beach cruising and maybe some lighter scenarios of being on dirt. But yeah, we've kind of pressed the limit a little bit on some of the harder terrain, and it doesn't work out great. You do get bounced around quite a bit. However, the one thing I did like about it, surprisingly, any suspension they put in the seat, the hydraulic. So the seat's actually way more comfortable than the suspension that I don't have on my handlebars.
Cool. What else?
I'm real happy with how it regenerates the electric battery. I did not expect that. I have to admit, when I first bought it, I thought when you used it, it would just go down like it would like a gas tank. Did not have any idea that it would actually regenerate itself. So there's been times when we've taken trips from Oceanside all the way down to Carlsbad and back, and it was probably a 10-mile bike ride, and it didn't use anything more than one small liter of the bar, and there's 10 of them. So that was pretty cool. I did not expect that.
Yeah, so XP is stated to have a 45 plus mile range. Do you think you'd be able to get that?
I do. From what I've already seen so far, I would feel really confident that I would, if I didn't get that, I'd get super close.
So is there anything where you were negatively surprised by?
I don't have too many things to complain about. The only thing I can think of is I wasn't real crazy about the brakes. It's either it came and it wasn't adjusted properly. I've tried to adjust them a few times since I've had it. Now I have 102 miles on it, and the brakes seem to be lacking. I'm not real sure why. I am going to get a tune-up on it here soon to see if that makes a difference. But so far, I'd have to say the brakes are my only disappointment.
Having ridden this bike over 100 miles now, what do you think of the total fit and finish? And would you pay full retail for this bike again?
I'm pretty happy with it. When I first started researching it, it was $899, and that was about 2 months before I bought it. And then on Black Friday, it came out at $899. However, the deal was you get the saddlebags and an upgraded seat, so included in the $899. So yeah, I'm pretty thrilled with that. I have to admit, I've ridden other bikes that are expensive, $1,500, and I would absolutely buy mine again for $899, especially for what I got all the upgraded items for.
Awesome. Thanks for all the information. So that wraps up this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it and thought it was informative. If you want, like or subscribe. If not, no hurt feelings. I'm just glad you found this video interesting. Catch you guys later. Thanks.